Touchdown. Touchdown.
Hi guys, thanks again for joining us on another episode of Music and Marriage. My name is Nikita, I am your host, and this is my co-host.
I'm Black Red Square, and you don't know, we always have to work. When you see what I go on, my coffee a fix and bag of something, you know what I mean? Give thanks for joining us for another beautiful episode. As you can see, we have beautiful people in the house. So let's talk.
Yes, thank you guys for joining us. As I said once again, before we get into the show, make sure you guys go over to our YouTube page and subscribe. I'm Black Red Square Official. AMLAKREDSQUARE Official. Yes. And if you are watching us on YouTube, please go over to a streaming platform and subscribe. iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor FM, and all other podcast platforms.
Yes, and also before we get into the show, you know, we have to pay the bills. So big up the sponsors. Nikki Glitz Cosmetics. Big up yourself if you need your glitters.
Loose glitters for your eyes. Yeah. You can use it for nails. It's multi-purpose, you know. Use it for whatever you really want it for, basically.
Yes, Nikki Glitz Cosmetics. And also Simply Rose. Make sure you get to Simply Rose for all your household
decor,
beautification,
your wreath, door wreaths,
your signs, your
door signs.
Merch, most importantly. And I mean, make sure you guys check out Simply Rose at her website, simplyrose.com. You know what I mean? Simply Rose, big up yourself. She's also on Instagram.
Yes, Simply Rose Craft.
Simply Rose Craft. You know what I mean? Make sure you check that out.
Yes, so today we have a special guest. Guests. I don't know. I think I should let them introduce themselves because they're a couple. Before we get into that, so this is our second couple that we've had on the podcast.
Yes.
So I just want them to introduce themselves and just give you guys a little preview of who they are and what they're bringing to the table today.
Ladies first.
Okay.
Hello, Music and Marriage Podcast. This is Sandy B. I am so excited to be here because I had the pleasure of having Nikki and Amalak on the 90 Day Wins podcast. Mm-hmm. And so I am finally here able to sit with them and talk. So I'm excited to be here.
Yes.
Hold on. Repeat the podcast that you represent again.
Okay. 90 Day Wins podcast. If you are a fan of this show, you know that Nikki and Amalak have supported me with the 90 Day Wins podcast and continue to support me. And so I am glad to be here with you guys.
Yes.
Emma, I truly appreciate your presence.
Yes, and of course, well, me, Fuzzy Dangles, LPI Radio. You always support the general, the king over there, you know, Amalak, the whole Red Square family. Yeah, we know the building, you know, show some support. Yeah.
But you didn't mention also the 90 Day Win book that we always promote on here. You got to put that in there, Sandy.
Yes.
Come on now.
Short.
So, 90 Day Wins book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your podcast. Where you could get it.
Yes.
Author.
Yeah, you actually shy, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, she's actually like blushing and shy.
There you go. Yeah. So there's some whatever. You got it.
Sandy and Fuzz are actually, you know, young entrepreneurs like ourselves.
By way of Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
Yeah, coming through from Atlanta, Georgia, and you know, they own a online radio station,
online radio platform.
You know what I mean?
Global.
LPI Radio, global radio station. You know, and Sandy is also an author.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm an author and a coach. My book is
Yes.
Ignite the Goal Getter Within, and so I am all about encouraging people to achieve their goals and get their wins. So yes, that's the book.
So all of the procrastinators out there, you know, all of the people who are just doubting themselves,
big time on it.
you can definitely make sure you guys go and check out the book.
It's a balance, man.
Ignite the Goal Getter Within. Yes, the book is on Amazon.
Yes, on Amazon. So make sure you guys go and get that.
Yes, please support.
So what we talking about today, yo?
He's just like, listen, I'm ready. Like, come on now, let's get it over with.
Let's get it.
You guys are so, you know, you guys.
All right, so usually we have a topic of the day. We have like a pre-topic and a topic. So I know we've had a conversation before about like something that we wanted to discuss lightly. So you could just introduce a topic for us today, if you don't mind.
No, we want to hear you introduce it.
No, because I'm asking her to do it because I'm the one that usually do it. You don't really introduce the topics. So, being that it's something that we spoke on, that's why I was just saying, like...
Okay.
And Sandy is not the one to be shy. I don't know what this shyness is about right now. Because
Sandy's here.
Sandy don't be shy. So I'm just trying to put her out here right now real quick.
No, you know what? At the lights,
Probably the lights?
It's like, I'm on the interrogation. Like, it's odd. No, I'm not even telling you the truth right now.
So we were talking about, there's been a lot of talk about Will and Jada and their relationship and their marriage. And so one of the things I've been talking with Nikki about is why do they feel the need to give so much of their information to the world? And then on the other hand, tell people in interviews that really they shouldn't be in their business. So it's just interesting to me that you would put so much out there for everyone to have an opinion on, but then want to be private. So I just think it's interesting.
Yeah, I definitely think so as well, because a lot of people are like that, where whether it's celebrities or even our own family members, our own friends, because I've known people who who have done stuff like this, where they'll put their whole business out on social media, like air it out.
Yes.
And then when someone has a comment or respond to it or opinion towards whatever was presented, it's mind your business. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Don't worry about me and mine's. Like, but it's not you and yours anymore. It's ours now. At this point, it's ours. Like, we're in the relationship. We're invested in this.
Yes.
Like they put day to day, me and my boo's going here, me and this, and then all of a sudden you don't see the boo no more. Like, you wonder what the hell happened to boo. He done disappeared.
Yes.
Like, dope it fly away.
Yes.
Like, how this go?
So what do you mean? So you're saying because they put their business out there and maybe something happened, which is natural.
Yeah.
It
and then when someone asks,
it's weird for a person to one day have her husband or a boo or whatever you call it on social media, and then the next day the boo not there and maybe something happened between both of them.
What I mean is
that's an issue.
No, what I mean is you consistently put this boo off for months or maybe even a year or so, and all of a sudden boo just disappears. And someone asks you gently or nicely, what's going on with you and Tony?
All
right, what with you and Ricky? You ain't even still there, yes or no? Exactly, I haven't seen him. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
And then you go, mind your business. That's none of your business. No, that's our business now.
Yeah.
I would think
you put it on a social platform where everyone across the world can see this.
Yeah.
So you can't come and look at me and tell me, oh, it's not my business now. I'm invested. It's our relationship at this point. So you're going to give me answers.
Like, personally, my spin would be like, since the pandemic, it's like, no, go on still. So, you have to, they're entertainment themselves. So, we're going to give the people them some entertainment with it.
Yeah, but if you're going to be
I think it is.
If you're going to want to entertain the crowd, don't be mad when the crowd turn around and ask questions.
That's it.
That's what we're trying to figure out.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
It's like, all right, if that's the route you're going to take, all right, go with it.
And this what comes with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just hold it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Don't be mad at nobody because they're asking you questions
Exactly.
or you want to get defensive.
Exactly.
It's no need for it because
no
you already
room
put
for
everybody in your business from the jump. So
Exactly.
don't be mad when they're asking questions.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how I look at it still, personally. That's how I look at that whole
So that was our little
situation.
pre-topic. So you could go ahead with his topic because I know you said you had a
Oh, he
topic
has
to
a
discuss.
Hot topic.
Yeah.
Off the press. Big up Cyclone, yeah. Yo, you're beast, Cyclone, you're beast. Yeah.
Yeah, so it ran across my mind today, right? Sacrifice. Very important word.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
where relationships are concerned, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is an acceptable? What is all right? Scenario. Let me put the question in a scenario then.
Okay.
Fuzz is an artist.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he earns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he becomes a popular artist, right?
Excuse me.
Bless you. And his demand is okay.
Yeah.
You're good?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
His demand is high.
Yeah.
You know, he has to earn out there on the road, and whatever he's doing is actually taking care of the family itself, taking care of the house.
Sorry.
You know, so he's not home naturally.
Yeah.
Would you put him in a scenario where he has to choose to either stay home and play the role of father, husband, or would you rather him continue to make that sacrifice and that sacrifice might end up costing a relationship between him and his children and also you know, his wife. Like what it's a very difficult decision in my opinion, a very thin line. How do you see that?
So good question. I see it as us deciding what our future looks like. So when I can only speak of our relationship, and when I met Fuzz, we were both working in corporate America. And so he was this IT person, and then he switched to what he's doing now, being an entrepreneur. And it's just me understanding where are we going and what are we looking to do. He's allowed for me to have a position where I was traveling out of the country, it seemed like every 3 weeks. And I think it's important to understand where you're going and what you're building towards. Definitely, I want him to be with me, but I also want my family to experience certain things. So we would have to have conversation, because I wouldn't want him to be resentful of me because I would be asking him to change himself. Because if he enjoys doing this and he's very good at it, right? I would have to figure out a way that we could both coexist. I mean, even now, he's allowed for me to change, and I say he's allowed because it's important. I want his blessing in the things I do, right? So I feel like he has allowed me to be Sandra, so I can be the best Sandra. So I can go and write this book. I can go decide now, okay, I don't want to be an accountant anymore. I want to be a full-time coach. You know, so I think it's important that you talk about where you're going, where you're moving, because if you're moving one way and I'm moving another, if you're focusing on this career as an artist and I'm here taking care of the children and I don't see that you care to do this, then I need to raise my hand and say, are we still moving in the same direction? Because I don't want you to be resentful of me, right? If you're out there doing what you love to do and I'm in your ear complaining, that's one of the things I have a problem with. If you make a decision, we make a decision to do this, I can't be in your ear complaining about something I said we're going to do. Like, I couldn't be in London working and he telling me, I wish you would come home, your daughter misses you. Like, that wouldn't have worked. So I think it's important that you understand where you're trying to go and how you're going to...
But sorry to cut you there, but isn't it like human nature though to... Because on the flip side of things, first, how does it make you feel knowing that you're out here sacrificing everything, but at the same time sacrificing for your children, your family, your wife, to live a good life? You know what I mean? But at the same time, you're missing out on certain aspects of being a good father, being a good husband, you know, things like that. How
missing birthdays, stuff like that. That's what you mean? Okay.
Well, personally, like, trotting through life, and it's like different stages. So you have, well, me personally, just talking from me now, So younger growing up, you know, you have different situations that you would go through, but really at the time you think that's horrible, it stink, you know what I'm saying, I shouldn't be going through this, but it builds you for the next stage where you're going to walk through. So it's like life is stages, you know, and with each stage is funny, it's like it's the same problems, but it's how you address the problem coming back around full circle. So for instance, a situation like that, say, I gotta go away, I gotta do some
consistently
dates.
go away.
Yeah, I gotta do some dates, but you know, we're doing it for the family, blah, 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 so I'll just go. And different scenario now come back around, all right, let's talk about it. I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this. So how your time look? You think you could we could roll with the family, or tell you what, at the end of the date, we meet up, you know, and we do what we do as a family. So it's like communication. It's like
it's very big.
I suck at it sometimes, depending on the situation, but it's really communication still, you know, growth. Really communication, big time. Because even Sasko did say something about, you know, when he was touring, and he got to a point where it's like, yo, I don't know, I'm frustrated. I shouldn't be, but I am, because you know, the mind is just weird. When you ask for certain things, then you're blessed with it, and then you reach this point where it's like,
is it
it's
important? Does it matter?
Yeah, I'm at a point where I gotta, figure out what. See, got the blueberry thing you might deal with, and so you find a way of a balance. Yeah. I think really life is about balance, you know.
And then also understanding what's important. You know, you're going to miss birthdays. You're going to miss anniversaries. You're going to miss things.
But some people are not so understanding when it comes to things like that. Why do you think that is?
Because, you know, sometimes we just want what we want. I can remember lots of times where it's just like, well, I don't want you to go because I want you to be here with me. But maturity helps me understand that, like, is that the best? Is that the best for the family? Am I going to say, no, don't go to Sunfest because I want you to be here with me when it's a great opportunity for you? Go. Yeah. Even though I wish I was there.
Right. You still have to show that support either way.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And it's always,
But not saying like, you know, it's 1, 2, 3 and it happened.
No, it's work.
It's a process, you know. It's as I was saying, like, initially when that issue
happened. Sacrifice is such a serious thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Even with sacrifice, it's like, all right, sacrifice. I've been reading this one book. It's pretty dope. And it's certain thing it asks you to do, but I took it as sacrifice, which is sacrifice is a serious word, but it wasn't really sacrifice. It was more of put aside until you achieve what you want, and then you'll be able to.
Yeah, but putting aside your family though, brother.
No.
Putting aside just putting into context what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know,
because you're thinking
words are serious. Words and phrase
Facts.
are some serious things when we really think about them.
Facts.
So when a man say we're gonna put aside this,
but
so that we can achieve this.
But don't you have to?
That's how most men.
But
that's how most men look at.
Because I can tell you, as a woman,
real talk.
I remember being away from my family, and you have to, and I'm sure you've done this before. You're traveling, and you miss your family.
Of course.
You miss your family, but you have an obligation, sir. You are contracted to perform and do what you have to do.
Most definitely.
So you have to put those feelings aside because you wouldn't perform your best if you did.
Yeah, big money.
You know, so it's like sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to allow for your mind to focus because it's for the best interests of your family. You know, so it is a sacrifice. You know, I could go crawl up in a ball and say, I can't do anything because I miss my family. Or I have to get up there and do that work they hired me to do.
And then get back home to your family.
And then just get on bad too when the flight's delayed and you can't.
Problems.
All right, but even further than that then.
Problems.
Even further than that, right?
Yeah.
You have some scenarios where after you have made that sacrifice and everything is good, you know, it damages permanently the relationship with your family, with your kids.
Yeah.
Because you weren't there physically and you missed out on
because
what is important then, so to speak. Yeah. Something a part of this cycle that is of the journey that is also important and maybe some people would say more important than the other.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how do you deal with that?
Well, I think that will happen for sure, but again it go back towards communication, and in that sense too, the partner, that's more of the caretaker can balance that, like so you miss birthdays, all right, cool, and say you're coming back maybe another week after, your spouse can, it's a birthday for the whole month still, so yeah, you wasn't here for the actual day, but
we can celebrate on another.
You know what I mean? We still celebrate birthday, so you don't feel totally left out because you still get that vibe.
But you see, the thing is,
but again,
it's
for me, I feel like the parents who are the ones that are working all the time and they compensate their time for
buying things,
financial things, and games and gadgets,
call that love
and
for the Luca,
so I feel like if you're gonna be absent and not be there throughout birthdays and stuff like that, at least be present when you are there.
Big time.
Yes.
Because a lot of parents, just because they're busy and they're making the money, they feel like even when they're there, they don't need to be there.
No, you have
like
to.
You're supposed to be present.
No,
when you're, even if you are the breadwinner, be present when you're there, because that's what the kids are gonna look at. They're gonna say, "Well, Daddy worked hard to get everything, or Mommy worked hard to get everything." But even when she was home or he was home, he wasn't here. You get what I'm saying?
And kids pick up on those things.
Exactly.
Oh,
and
that's
I feel,
a very good point.
Yeah, and communication is always big as well, even with children. Like, once they know what to expect, I think they can wrap their head around it much easier than us adults.
Yeah.
Like, they can take things easier than we can. So you explain to them and say, well, here what it is. Daddy's not absent from birthdays or anything like that because he doesn't want to be here. But this is the reason why. We have to make sure certain things are taken care of. I want to make sure you're good. Explain to them. And once they really get that full understanding, I feel like a child will be like, all right, it's cool. You can miss a birthday, but just make sure when you come back, we're going to go here. We're going to go Chuck E. Cheese, do this, whatever, just make up for that lost time, you can say.
Totally. And you know what? It's funny because especially with kids, they will remember. I remember our daughter telling me about, you left me and I left you. I just left you. You were with Dad. I was. And
how did that make you feel?
Like it did affect me. It did make me feel as if I were being selfish. But I don't like to allow for negative thoughts to stay in my mind too long, because that wasn't selfish. That was an opportunity and I wanted it. And so it's just for me to explain to her, but kids are going to believe and hold things. However, we all have our perception of the world.
Did she understand eventually?
Yes, and she talks about, you wrote me letters. Before I left, each day I wrote a letter for her so she could open up.
And then we did a trip.
See, so you gave her something for her to, still hold on to, like, Mommy's not here, but at the same time, she's still making me feel comfortable throughout the time when she's not here.
I think that's it. It's, we are not, no one's perfect. We are all just trying to do the best we can. But if we are able to talk and, explain, like you said, explain, this is why Mommy won't be here, this is why Daddy won't be here, but here's what we're going to do. It's, everyone wants to feel like they are being taken care of and they are being cared for. So even in your absence, if I'm looking forward to you to come home because we're going to do something, it makes it better. You thought about me, even though you're so far away, you thought about me. So you're still going to take care of me. So I think that, kind of can help you.
It definitely can. And I really feel like as parents, we don't really think too much into things like this. We just move and go and just expect the kids to understand and expect them to get it, because guess what? Our mamas left us at home and they had to go to work and we had to figure it out. So you get what I'm saying? Like, now is a time where, and I hear a lot of people be like, oh, well, I ain't had no babysitter. My mama left me in the house of 8 hours.
Oh, you got that thing on your arm. Nigga, I am passing it down though. You know,
exactly.
Right
yeah.
That's
Certain
right
things
here.
you gotta.
When you know better, you do better. Right?
Exactly, and that's what it is. A lot of parents don't want to hold themselves accountable to that.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure we look at it and say, okay, well, you know, we're making the sacrifices for our family, but at the same time, don't make the sacrifice for your family that's going to sacrifice your family.
No,
you don't want that.
No.
So you got to think about that as well. So it's as he said, it's a thin line
Very, very thin.
to, you know, sacrifice and what it can do to a family, what it can do for a family. Because some sacrifice for a family can be the greatest thing that they could have ever done, and some can be detrimental to where there's no longer a family.
Yep.
Yes. That is not the goal.
Exactly. So you gotta like communication, I think, throughout the whole process of you know, the movements, the journey. It should be, you know, open line of communication where everyone is aware, whether it's children, babies, dogs, cats, in-betweens, whatever it is.
Everybody.
Everybody needs to be, you know, notified on what's going to be taking place. So everybody is abreast and everybody's not taken aback like when mommy don't come home for 2 weeks and it's like, but she told me she was going to be back yesterday. Like, what happened?
That's it.
You know, like, because you know that happens. Exactly, and sticking
That's
to
the
your
thing.
words.
And
Exactly.
kids, they look forward to that.
Most definitely.
I remember
Especially
that
our
one
son
time.
King. He don't play.
I was going to ask you, like, how have you dealt with, you know, being away and, you know, the kids are, you know, they're looking for daddy and...
It's very hard for me.
It's hard for him.
You know,
I
because
can see that. Yeah.
you know,
he's very active.
I'm
He's a hands-on.
I'm so connected to my children.
Yeah.
You know, and also as a husband, you know, I've not, you know, in the past I've not done great at it. So now I'm trying to find the time to be better and better. And so thinking about all of those things and actually being out in the world trying to earn as well.
Big time.
And make sure the family is okay.
Big time.
It's not the easiest thing.
No.
It's not the easiest thing at all. Trust me.
It's not.
You know, and that's why I asked the question. You know, the sacrifice sometimes is it really worth it, or you know, it's a balance as you say. It's a
I
balance.
feel like it's worth it as long as
Yeah.
you know what it is that
But it's not easy.
you're working towards.
It's not easy at all.
That's why
sometimes
everybody do the walk, you know.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people just kind of okay, I'll
I
just
can
settle
tell you.
here.
Stand on the
I
side and
wouldn't
then
do it
complain
again.
and
I wouldn't do it again.
you wouldn't do it again.
I'm grateful for the experience, but you know how they say be careful what you wish for?
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember a friend from undergrad telling me, you always said you wanted to do international business and travel, and I did. But I didn't tell God that I wanted to do it prior to getting married and having a child. Because it's different.
Yeah.
Exactly for those points you said.
Definitely.
I have my child, I have my husband, we're building this life, and now I have to travel all this time. I want to be with my family.
It would have been so easy to be able to afford a whole family traveling all the time. You know, but it's not easy. You know what I mean?
No,
It's not.
You know, especially when you're building.
Exactly.
You know, and even if you're not building, you know, I
it
know a lot
still
of,
takes a lot.
I know very popular artists that aren't able to just fly the whole family. Because when the family is there with you, it creates
It's
also a
different.
distraction
Yes,
as
sir.
well
It's a
You gotta
different
to the work
vibe.
that you're doing.
It's a different vibe.
and
you
things
know.
like that, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not an easy
No,
scenario.
not at all. Not at all.
Can't.
Not at all.
Can't.
Not at
It'd be frustrating.
Yeah, man.
I ain't even
I
gonna
want to come home, but then
Yes.
you know it's important.
Exactly.
I'm doing
exactly.
important work.
Especially
You know?
when you have 2-3
It's like-
weeks looking ahead like, damn,
Or when you wake up in the hotel, you're like,
I'm still here.
I'm still here.
I know, but in that sense too, you know, that's why you have your equipment, so you just redirect that energy towards
Yes.
some music, towards your art, you
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
and
Definitely.
then you turn that negative into a positive.
See,
Yeah.
and that's
you know,
why
so-
he was so good for me, right?
Yeah.
Because I'd call him and we'd
Switch.
literally be out with colleagues, and I'm like, I need to go back to the hotel because I need to call my family.
Yeah.
You want to speak to your family, it's a different time zone. You want to get to them, and it's like, I've had enough of you guys.
Yeah.
And like my whole demeanor would change because it's like, you've taken enough
Everything,
of my time.
Yeah.
I need to be with my family. I need
I've
to
been
talk to
there.
my family.
Rough.
And then you call the family,
Rough.
the kids are about to go to sleep, so they're not real, and it's just like, I miss them.
Yeah.
Been
It's
there,
tough.
man. Been there.
Tough,
been there.
tough,
Rough.
tough. tough.
For real.
It's definitely tough being on the other end when he's not here.
Yeah.
It's having
How do you deal with that?
The kids keep me occupied, honestly. Like,
Aw.
they are 3 handful and I only got 2. So it's, I mean, his absence is definitely felt.
Yeah.
However, you know, we still have to go on and still do what we got to do because, as he said, he got to still work. And this is my job to, when he's not here, to make sure that the household is taken care of, the children are okay, you know, and everything is in order. So it's important for me not to get too caught up in my feelings, like, oh my goodness, I miss him so much. Of course, like the first day or 2 I cry, and then after it's like, all right, put your big girl panties on.
Why is it 2 days? It is 2 days.
I don't know, it's like 2 days for me.
The first 2 days, he goes away.
Yeah, the first 2 days is like, I'm in a little funk, like,
I'm gonna need a minute.
Yeah.
And then that
after
that
the
second
48
day, let's
hours,
get
it's just like,
Let's
all
get
right, you
Come
gotta
on.
get it together.
It is so true.
And I give myself that time frame, like, all right, I'm not gonna say, okay, in any situation that I go through, I don't, like, I try to give myself that time to, whether it's to grieve, whether it's to cry, whether it's to whatever it is that I have to do. I'm not saying
you're physically not
you're not there. I'm not
Medea. It's serious things.
That's what you're grieving for.
You don't got your friend to wake up in the morning.
Exactly,
laugh with
like,
and
you don't even you don't even understand.
Y'all don't realize the friendship,
Listen,
that a marriage is.
I feel you, man.
When he's not here, sometimes it's just like,
the energy is different.
Yeah.
It's just a robotic move at
You
that
know how
point.
y'all say we bring energy, y'all bring a certain energy
Exactly.
too. That calm, that you know, we need that balance.
And then sometimes when I'm ready to flip my lid, he's just like, "Yo, relax, everything good. Like I got it."
It's a beautiful thing.
So it helps me to, you know, be able to take care of the children in the household, you know, just to make sure everything is good.
Yes.
But it's not that easy and it's not that hard. Because at some point, at some point I have to mentally tell myself, like,
I got this.
I got to figure it out.
Yes, I got this.
I got
totally
it.
forgot something I should have brought, but it's cool. I give my shout out at the end. Jamaica's the new tune. Yes. My bad, bro. I totally
So it's just different, but I don't know. I know a lot of women that's just like, oh, it's hard and they can't do it when the man is not there. You just gotta wrap your mind around it.
And then also, like, I want to show you that I can do this when you're not here. I want you to know that things are still going to be together when you get back. And I don't want to stress you because I need you to focus. I need you to be the best you can be when you're out
more
there.
booked.
Right?
Yes.
So, so when you come back, it's going to be, but let me tell you, I'm like, oh, he's coming today.
What? Yes. Oh my goodness.
Excitement.
It's like Gladbach boss. Like you didn't think about nothing else.
I don't know.
It's just like, oh my goodness, he's finally coming back. I could finally be like at peace again. Like everything is just
normal.
You know, the way
right
it's supposed
with the world.
to. Yes.
Your world is in your grasp.
Yes.
You know, like because there's a sense of my boo has to be safe out there.
Yeah. Definitely.
So when you're back, it's that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, man, for real.
The feeling, everything is just like I'm happy again.
It's the same for me because remember say you go do your thing sometimes.
When I'm not.
It's the same for me.
Yeah, he's very focused on the children. Like when I'm not here, he's focused. Like it's just daddy mode.
Yeah.
Like even I'd be like, "Hi, babe. Yeah, man, everything good. I'm here doing this and I'm here doing that and I'm here and I'm like, all right." With him, it's just I know it's a handful.
Yeah.
And then the other two, they can do their own thing or whatever, but at times they need a little bit of assistance, you know.
Big time.
So with him, like I know that they're good.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't have to worry about whether they ate.
Yeah.
Because I know he gonna cook.
Mm-hmm.
What if he got to do laundry? He gonna throw them clothes in the machine and make sure.
Because I can cook.
Him can cook. Big up Patsy, your good son. We can cook.
Yes. Big up Greta. R.I.P. Yes.
Yeah, big up. 100%. Like he can cook and he know how to like really cook.
Yeah. And see, these are the things that our children can see. Whether mommy is gone or daddy is gone, that united front, we don't have to worry.
Exactly.
We will be taken care of. They got the game plan. They got us, So I think it's good for our kids to see that because, so many of us didn't have the luxury of seeing
having
mommy and daddy.
Exactly.
Exactly. And seeing them communicate.
True
you might have seen some argument here, argument there, but you haven't seen like a day-to-day, this is how we doing it. Okay, mommy's going away. Okay, this is what we doing. Daddy does this. We have to, so it's good to show them that, because that's what life is.
And I want to make sure that our children, whether it's my daughter or our sons, they understand that there's no roles like where a man is not supposed to do this, a woman at the end of the day you live in our house, the house need to be clean. Exactly. I know a lot of females who is like, oh no, my son don't need to do no housework and this, that, and the third. No. Like a lazy nasty money I bring.
Yes.
Yeah, I bring a problem for your little girl. Yeah, it's a problem I bring for the little girl that out here, so. Like we need to teach our sons to understand that. Listen to me. Facts. If your sister the plate them need for wash, you can get up and go and do it. Facts. You don't have to wait for your woman to come and do it. It's okay to help out. Yeah. Don't let her feel like she have all the burden of taking care of the household, the children, and if she gotta work and it's not fair. Exactly.
It's not fair, man.
Exactly.
It's not gonna be a happy home. It's not gonna be a happy home.
Listen, some women are okay with it and they get burned out and then they get stressed out after that and then it's just like a whole bunch of pressure and then they wonder they wonder why the relationship is not
But then the husband's like, well, honey, you like to do that.
A lie. Exactly. Hear what he just said? A lie.
You seem to like to do it all the time, so
see,
that's why we have to communicate.
Exactly, communication needs to exactly. And we need to also teach our children, give them chores. Y'all got to do things. Y'all got to pick up a dish and wash something out or clean up. Don't just feel like you're gonna just be here and lazy and just don't do nothing. Like they have to understand the sacrifices that we're making so that they can be able to be comfortable.
Yes.
So even if they got to sacrifice an hour or two of game just to get your room clean or whatever it is that you got to do to lighten the load for the parents, it is important for them to do that. We have to make them understand that.
Definitely.
Sacrifice,
Yes.
Big word.
Big word.
And make sure y'all understand the word exactly before you use it. Don't just be throwing it out there like, oh, I'm sacrificing. It's not everyone deserves that sacrifice as well. Because you know enough money. Where you sacrifice? You didn't sacrifice. Like, we need to figure it out. Communication is very important, especially when it comes to making decisions about sacrifices. When it comes to relationship, marriage, family, it's important for us to really sit down and really communicate with one another and get a clear understanding of where everyone's feelings lie, where everyone stand and what everyone wants from what they don't want. So there's no misconception, anything like that. Everybody have a clear understanding of what it is that needs to be done and we just work together and get it done. Teamwork make the dream work. So that will be all for today. Make sure you guys go and check us out, as I said earlier in the podcast. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, I'm Like Red Square Official. Make sure you guys go over also and subscribe to 90 Day Win Podcast. You guys can hear the beautiful voice of Sandy B. Make sure you guys go over also to lpiradio.com and check out their programs on a daily.
Yes, on the daily. Have a new launch off at the ending of the month at Kudea, Treasure Beach. We're gonna have a few.
And Treasure Beach is where exactly?
It's bottom side, St. Elizabeth.
St. Elizabeth.
Yeah, so it's like the south side.
Okay.
Yeah, man, real nice. Check out for that series with Amalak that's coming too, and man, enough good vibes. Yeah, we got 12 weekends. We're gonna live broadcast, so they will have some visuals.
Good vibes.
So we're gonna definitely promote it here on the podcast for sure.
Of course.
And when y'all gonna hear the Jamaica song, Your Wife. it's coming, all digital platforms. So you hear
Make
that
sure you guys check that out as
when
well.
you do your magic.
Network.
Yes.
Anything you want to say, Sandy, before we go?
Yeah, just check out 90 Day Wins, the podcast. You can check out 90 Day Wins on IG. We are talking wins. It's the end of the year. So it's all about achieving your goals, planning for your goals for 2022. So follow us so you can be involved. You can get your wins. You can be focused on the things you truly desire